Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on this great presentation that we have all about our rail vacations and one of my favorite places, California. I want to introduce myself. I'm Jackie Malecki and your webinar host. And I do have a special guest speaker who I'll introduce in just a bit, who will tell you all about our rail vacations throughout California. And I asked him to join us because he's been to all of these destinations that he's about to tell you about, and he knows them very well. And he's also traveled by train up the coast of California. We have some really exciting offers and discounts today exclusively for all of you for attending on some of the packages that we'll be talking about. And stay tuned because at the end of this presentation, I'll be giving away a $100 Amtrak Vacations gift certificate to put towards your next vacation to one lucky attendee. You'll also want to make sure to write down our phone number there so you can book one of these packages, and that number is 1-800-268-7252, and you can also book any of our packages through your local travel agent. If you do have any questions at all throughout this presentation, please feel free to type them right into your questions box there on the right hand of your screen, and we'll make sure to spend some time at the end of this answering those questions. So why should you travel with Amtrak Vacations? Well, first of all, it's a bucket list experience to travel by train, and you'll see some beautiful sights and parts of the country that you would never see by flying or driving. There's room to roam on board the train as you're traveling to your destination. You're not stuck in your seat like you are on a plane, when you're driving there. You can get up, stretch your legs, maybe walk to the observation car with the large glass windows there, taking all that spectacular scenery. It's less hassle when you book with us. Everything is all packaged up. Your hotel, sightseeing tours, activities, the rail, even some of the meals are included. We also have e-tickets and electronic documents to make things easier. The train has city-to-city service. And what I mean by this is the train will pick you up right in the heart of one city and bring you right to the next, to downtown, city center. It's not like the airports where you're now in the outskirts of the city trying to get in. You can satisfy your hunger on board. There's a dining car on all the long distance trains with a chef that's preparing the meals. It's not like food on the domestic airlines at all. It doesn't come to your seat prepackaged. And I had dinner on the train a little while ago, and I had a delicious steak dinner. There's also a snack car if you want to grab a quick bite in between meals. We have lots of flexibility with our packages. Most of them have daily departures, and we can customize any of our packages to make the perfect vacation for you. Now, I always love showing this map here of the Amtrak route system, because a lot of people don't realize the extent that Amtrak travels to. It goes to 46 of the 48 continuous states, and the only two it does not go through are South Dakota and Wyoming. Now, last year, 31.6 million people traveled on Amtrak, and that's people coming from all over the U.S. and all over the world, really, that all just want a nice, beautiful, relaxing, and scenic train ride. We have a few different types of products that we're going to talk about today, and we really do have something to meet every traveler's needs. So we're going to start out, we'll talk about a few of our getaways, which are single city trips, where we take care of the hotel, sightseeing tours, and we'll add rail from your local Amtrak station. We'll talk about a few of our family adventures, great for multi-generational travelers, lots of family-friendly activities included, and those are usually 1 or 2 destinations in about 5 days. So it's perfect for school or summer vacations. And then we'll go into our independent rail journeys, which are our multi-city trips using the rail to take you from city to city. It's great for those who want to explore on their own, travel at their own pace, but we still include those hotels and sightseeing tours. And we'll show you how some of our packages that we have that are doing all the best places in California. And then we'll finish it off telling you about one of our rail experience packages. These are new for this year, and they instantly became some of our top sellers. And great for those who really want to experience the train and see America. These trips, they use the long distance trains, and most of those nights are actually on the train, with just 1 or 2 nights in each of the cities that you're stopping in. Now keep in mind, on any of the packages you're about to hear today, you can actually start them from any of the 500 Amtrak stations. You also have the option to fly to the start and home from the end of your trip. It all depends on where you're coming from, how much vacation time you have, and how long you'd like to be on the train. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, John Vavrina.
Hi everyone. Jackie, thank you for having me today. And today I join you from our offices in Southern California. So I'm excited to have the opportunity to share with you my pictures and experiences on our California coast trips. I've been fortunate enough to have visited all of the destinations that we're featuring today. And just do me a favor, don't hold my New York accent against me. Let's get started. We'll board the train and head down to San Diego. So with our San Diego Ultimate Getaway, you're going to spend 4 amazing days in the birthplace of California. Now, this was the first place in California that Europeans settled in. So even though Native Americans have been living in San Diego for over 12,000 years, explorer Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo discovered San Diego Bay in 1542. But it was about 200 years after that before Europeans settled this area. A fort and a mission were established in 1769, which gradually expanded into settlement under first Spanish and then Mexican rule. It became part of the U.S. in 1848 and was granted statehood in 1850. Now, next thing you see here in this picture, this is Balboa Park. It is a San Diego must-see, and it is ranked one of the best parks in the world. It is home to over 15 major museums, several performing art venues, lovely gardens, and many other recreational attractions, including the world-famous San Diego Zoo. And at 1,200 acres, it is the nation's largest urban cultural park. Here we see Coronado Beach in San Diego. This features scenic white sand beaches, offering tide pools, fire rings, a dog run, surfing, and sunbathing. It's great for family fun, bodyboarding, sunbathing. Plus, San Diego has arguably the best year-round weather on Earth. And I say that because its average high is 70 degrees, its average low is 64 degrees, and the average daily temperature in August, which is one of the prime times to go to San Diego, is 77 degrees. Included in this package is admission to the USS Midway. That has been voted by travelers on TripAdvisor as the #1 thing to do and the #1 museum in San Diego. The Midway was the largest ship in the world until 1955. It operated for an unprecedented 47 years, during which time it saw action in Vietnam and served as the Persian Gulf flagship in the 1991's Operation Desert Storm. It was decommissioned in 1992 and is now open to the public in San Diego. Here we see a few shots of the world-famous San Diego Zoo, which houses over 3,700 animals and over 650 species. Now, this zoo pioneered the concept of open-air, cageless exhibits that recreate natural animal habitats. It is also one of the few zoos that houses the giant panda. In fact, you can see the giant panda in the picture to the right behind my son Joseph. In the middle there, you see another picture. That's actually my daughter Jenna with the giraffe right in the background. I have to say that the picture on the left of the pink flamingo is not one of my children. So in addition to what we just spoke about, this package also includes 3 nights hotel accommodations, a multi-day hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour, a sightseeing cruise of San Diego, and dinner at a popular restaurant. As you can see, San Diego is a destination for history buffs and beachgoers alike. A little something for everyone. The next package is our Southern California Family Adventure. And this is a great family adventure. And sometimes people ask me, why is that, John? And basically you got the ideal weather of Southern California. You have breakfasts included. You have scenic train rides along the California coast. You have complimentary transfers between the hotels and Amtrak stations, and of course, Disneyland. the happiest place on earth. Here's another shot of the San Diego Zoo. Once again, world famous for over 3,700 animals, including the giant panda. So let's recap. We have a 2 nights hotel accommodation in Anaheim. Anaheim is very close to LA, and it's where Disneyland is located. It's a 1 day, 1 park admission to Disneyland, 2 nights hotel accommodations in San Diego, admission to the San Diego Zoo, hop-on, hop-off sightseeing of San Diego, and coach accommodations on Amtrak from San Francisco to Anaheim, Anaheim to San Diego, and San Diego to San Francisco. Now, you notice I mentioned that is coach accommodations. We do have several other first-class accommodations with sleepers, and we'll talk about those a little bit later. What I would tell you, though, is really coach accommodations for this trip is probably one of the best choices because you're traveling during the day. You're not spending overnight on the train. And so the coach accommodations are the most economical and really all you need. A little bit later, I'll go through the different types of accommodations that we have and when I would recommend them. But on this package, I would stick with the coach accommodations. However, if you do have the desire to have a first-class accommodation, we do have them available as well. This is a nice shot of the train ride between Anaheim and San Diego. This is specifically taken in San Clemente, which ironically is where Jackie had lived for some time. So Los Angeles, the city of angels. The first motion picture theater ever opened here in 1902. And our included Starlight sightseeing tour enables you to see all that Los Angeles has to offer, from Hollywood to Beverly Hills, downtown LA, and the beaches of Santa Monica. You can also do a little retail therapy by window shopping on Rodeo Drive. You can walk the stars along the iconic Walk of Fame, and you can see celebrity handprints at Grauman's Chinese Theater. Stop by the LA Griffith Observatory. It sits on the south-facing slope of Mount Hollywood and commands a view of the LA Basin. Now, this is a very popular tourist attraction with excellent view of the Hollywood sign. And admission here is free. However, there are some planetary shows, and they do have a small charge if you decide to attend one of those. The Santa Monica Pier is a great recreational and entertainment center featuring restaurants, retail establishments, and an amusement park. It's a popular landmark that's been around for over 100 years, and you can get there with your included hop-on, hop-off pass. So let's recap. The hop-on, hop-off tour will bring you to more places than you can squeeze into 3 days here in LA. However, we do offer a number of additional tours if you would like to customize this vacation. Here's a picture of the Coast Starlight. It is one of the most scenic train routes that can be seen, and it can only be seen by train. If you look closely, you'll notice there are no roads in this picture, and you certainly can't see this view from an airplane window. This is a nice picture of some row houses in San Francisco. A little trivia that I usually like to ask people is, or tell them about is, did you know that the Chinese fortune cookie was invented by a Japanese restaurant of San Francisco? This is San Francisco Bay, which is home to Alcatraz. And at 60 miles long and between 3 and 12 miles wide, depending on the part of the harbor you're in, it is the world's largest landlocked harbor. So now we're talking, the Napa Valley Wine Train. So climb aboard a 1915 to 1917 Pullman car, and you enjoy a gourmet lunch, which is crafted by an executive chef using only the freshest ingredients. While on board, you're also invited to explore the train, where you can visit the chefs in action in the kitchen. You can visit the wine tasting bar and have an expert find you a new favorite wine. And you can visit the observation deck to enjoy the unobstructed view of the valley. Another picture of a winery there in California. So, by the way, I don't know how many of you know this, but California produces more than 17 million gallons of wine each year. and accounts for nearly 90% of American wine production. In fact, if California was a separate country, it would be the world's 4th largest wine producer. So let's recap. The San Francisco Getaway with Napa Valley Wine Train, 3 nights hotel accommodations, hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour of San Francisco, dinner at a popular restaurant, gourmet lunch among the Napa Valley Wine Train, and round-trip ferry bus transfers from San Francisco to the Napa Valley Wine Train. So there's no need to rent a car or anything. We make sure we take care of all that for you. The San Francisco and Yosemite Family Adventure. So as far as states with the most national parks, tied for first place is California, which has 8 national parks, which includes Yosemite, one of the nation's most visited national parks. Over 3.8 million visitors come here every year. Yosemite was established as a national park in 1890, making it the 3rd oldest national park after Yellowstone and Sequoia. Yosemite is also a UNESCO heritage site and contains beautiful cliffs, waterfalls, 3 giant sequoia groves, and diverse wildlife. In fact, Yosemite Falls are North America's tallest waterfall. Here you see the Pier 39 attraction pass. So you have access to all the fun and attractions of Pier 39 with one pass. You can see the sights with a 48-hour hop-on, hop-off bus tour. Experience life under the sea, walking through the clear tunnels of the aquarium by the bay. Challenge yourself to find a way out of McGowan's infinite mirror maze. Immerse yourself in the 7D experience. Cruise around San Francisco Bay boat tour. By the way, the 7D experience, sometimes people are like, what exactly is a 7D experience? The way I kind of describe it is, if you've ever been on the Transformers or the Spider-Man ride at Universal Studios, you can think of it something similar. It's a combination of a laser blasting game and a movie theater style type ride, which moves with you. So it's definitely a big attraction that people love, and they actually of all ages people love it. So you don't have to feel they describe it as a roller coaster type of ride, but it's really not. I mean, if you're someone who's afraid of roller coasters, it's not. It's very slow moving and stuff. It just moves with you. Great attraction, a lot of fun. Something not to be missed. This is another picture of the of Yosemite. That's actually me in the picture. From last year, about 80 pounds ago, because I've lost quite a bit of weight. However, one of the things I will tell you about Yosemite, when you're there and you're looking out at some of the scenes, it actually looks fake. It almost looks like it's a painting because it's so unbelievable, the views that you see. So let's review what's included. San Francisco and the Yosemite Family Adventure, which is 4 days. You get 3 nights of hotel accommodations. You get the Pier 39 attraction pass, which includes not just the hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour, but all the items we just spoke about. You get the sightseeing tour of Yosemite National Park and round-trip coach accommodations on Amtrak. Next adventure I'm going to talk about is the California DREAMIN, and this is a trip of a lifetime that kicks off in Los Angeles with tours of Rodeo Drive and Beverly Hills. You'll then head to Santa Barbara, the land of glorious beaches, for some fun in the sun. Treat your palate with delicious wine in the vineyards of Paso Robles. You'll spend a day touring the architectural wonder of Hearst Castle. And finally, you'll experience beautiful San Francisco with a deluxe sightseeing tour. That sightseeing tour includes Japanese Tea Garden, Fisherman's Wharf, and of course the Golden Gate Bridge. This tour of the California coast is one that you will not want to miss. This is actually, the sightseeing tour of the hottest Hollywood stars' homes. I think if you look really close, you can see George Clooney in the background. Well, maybe not. You're going to view Santa Barbara aboard the trolley tour. Again, the land of glorious beaches. Hearst Castle was actually the home of newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst, and invitations to Hearst Castle were highly coveted during its heyday, which was really back in the 1920s and 30s. The Hollywood and political elite often visited, and usually what they would do is they would either fly into the estate's airfield or they would take the private Hearst-owned train car from Los Angeles. Among Hearst guests were Charlie Chaplin, Cary Grant, the Marx Brothers, Charles Lindbergh, Bob Hope, Franklin Roosevelt, and Winston Churchill. And one of the things that has become quite popular is spotting wild zebras on the Hearst Ranch, so as they're descendants from the Hearst private zoo. And the story goes like this. When Hearst started going bankrupt, and he started selling off his assets and letting, he started donating all the animals that he had on the estate grounds to the different zoos. He had a bunch of zebras that were headed to the San Diego Zoo to be donated to the San Diego Zoo. And the story is that his grandson didn't want to see those animals caged up. He wanted to see them get free. So the story is that the grandson actually let them go the night before they were supposed to be shipped to the San Diego Zoo. And even today, you can be driving around in Paso Robles, and you can see the hordes of the zebras. There's about 80 of them all together. They usually travel together in packs, and it's just it's a fascinating sight to feel that, hey, I'm not in Africa. I'm actually in California, and I'm seeing wild zebra roaming freely. This is a nice picture of a trolley car in San Francisco with Alcatraz in the background. Federal officials have initially doubted that any escaping inmates could survive the swim to the mainland across the cold, swift waters of San Francisco Bay, but it did happen. In 1962, prisoner John Paul Scott greased himself with lard, squeezed through a window, and swam to shore. He was so exhausted upon reaching the foot of the Golden Gate Bridge that police discovered him lying unconscious in hypothermic shock. Today, hundreds of people compete in the 1.5-mile swim annually during the Escape from Alcatraz triathlon. So let's review what's included in the California DREAMIN package. Sightseeing tour of the hottest Hollywood stars' homes. You may or may not see George Clooney in the background. View in Santa Barbara aboard a trolley tour. Taking a tour of at least 4 California wineries, including a picnic lunch at a vineyard in Paso Robles. I will tell you that you don't have to worry about driving or anything in between those wineries. We do provide transportation as part of the tour. By the time I was done with the second winery, I was not in the shape to be driving, so keep that in mind. You don't have to worry about that. Visiting Hearst Castle on a special tour of one of the largest historic museums in the U.S. It is a great site. And then experience the sights and wonders of San Francisco on a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour. The Californian. So on this package, well, first of all, many people don't know that the Republic of California was its own country for about 3 weeks in 1846. Basically, the residents of California rebelled against Mexico, who was ruling the territory at the time. They took over the town of Sonoma, which we actually visit in some of our packages that we're going to talk about. They declared their independence and replaced the Mexican flag with the famous bear flag. However, the rebels knew they wouldn't last in an attack from the Mexican army, so they sought the assistance of Captain Fremont of the U.S. Army. And in a joint battle in San Francisco, the rebels decided to fight with Captain Fremont. They ended the Republic, took down the bear flag, and replaced it with a U.S. flag. So on July 9th, 1846, 25 days after becoming its own country, California was placed under U.S. rule and has been there ever since. So we talked a little bit about this before, but did you know that over 60% of our travelers have us add rail from their hometown to the beginning or end of their packages? So a lot of times people will look at our packages and they may decide to fly in or fly out. Sometimes they'll ask us to do rail from their hometown and then they'll fly home afterwards, or vice versa. But over 60% actually have us add rail to both the beginning and end. So for example, maybe they do one of our packages and they live in Chicago or Kansas or virtually anywhere of any one of our 500 stations throughout the U.S. And the package starts in San Francisco. We can add on a portion from wherever their hometown is to the beginning of our tour. And then once again, when they're completed the tour, we can add a portion to get them home. And about 60% of our travelers, they take advantage of this. Another shot of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And another shot of the Yosemite National Park. Again, you know, it is picture perfect, some of the views, really amazing to go to Yosemite National Park and see, you know, some of the waterfalls and some of the nature without seeing a bunch of, you know, condos in the background. Don't you just feel like picking those grapes and eating them right off the vine? I will tell you that that's my favorite part of going to the Napa Valley. A lot of wineries actually do have a specific area set up where you can pull and you can eat some grapes right off the wine. However, you want to make sure it is one of those designated areas. You know, you don't want to be picking grapes off the wine where they're actually growing the wine, and it's not designated for that. Another picture of LA. So saying you're from Los Angeles these days doesn't really mean much anymore, and the reason why is there's more than 88 different cities within the city. Well, let's just say it's become a big place. So big, in fact, that it has 6 different area codes, which is more than any other U.S. city can say. So San Diego, I was telling you a little bit before about it, has arguably the best weather in year-round in the world. I will tell you the opposite is true for its traffic, though. The average motorist spends a grueling 256 hours a year sitting in their car, and that's why we travel by train. So let's recap the Californian. Enjoy a day of sightseeing on a hop-on, hop-off tour of San Francisco. Explore Yosemite National Park for a day. Visit Sonoma and Napa Valley on a wine country tour. Explore Los Angeles on a hop-on, hop-off tour. And enjoy a hop-on, hop-off trolley tour of San Diego. Now this is the West Coast Spectacular. This is another favorite amongst travelers because it includes Seattle, and also this is the first package we're talking about today that includes an overnight train experience, which is a much different experience than just traveling during the day. So Seattle, which is known as the Emerald City, is a gem in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle offers stunning views throughout the city, and it's surrounded by water and mountains. So you can see in the main picture, it's also in the picture to the right in the background. In the background, I'm actually on the right-hand side. I'm in Chihuly Gardens, and you can see the Space Needle right behind me. That is a great place. It's actually not the highest point in Seattle, but it certainly is the most famous, and is a great place to get a 360-degree view of all of Seattle and that area. You'll notice we have the full-day Napa and Sonoma wine country tour. Do you think we like wine here on the West Coast? So included in this package is admission to Universal Studios. So this is a little bit different than those of you that have been to Universal Studios down in Florida. Down in Florida, it's really just an amusement park. But in California, besides being an amusement park, the park is an actual film and television studio. So occasionally you'll get a chance to see a star on his or her way to work. So recapping the West Coast Spectacular, 3-day hop-on, hop-off tour of Seattle, full-day Napa and Sonoma wine country tour, 1-day guided tour of Los Angeles, and admission to Universal Studios, including transportation. One thing I actually didn't itemize here, but I should mention too, is the overnight portion of the train. We're going to go a little bit into that in just a minute here. So this year we designed packages for the true train enthusiasts, and these train packages became very popular. What you see here is a Western Rail experience. You'll notice it starts in Chicago, but doesn't actually spend any nights in Chicago. Now, of course, the ability to customize any trip for you, we can customize the rail starting from your hometown to get you to Chicago. We could also include nights in Chicago before or after the train starts. But the way we've designed this package is the most popular routes and combination that we've had people request in the past. The Western Rail experience starts here in Chicago. You board the train and spend a relaxing overnight as you head towards Los Angeles. Now, traveling by train is different than any other mode of transportation because it's actually part of the vacation. Unlike flying on a plane or riding in a bus, which is strictly transportation. One of the most popular places to go on the train is the observation car. You can take in the sights here, you can meet new people, play games at one of the tables, eat a snack from the cafe car, etc. I'll tell you, even when I'm on a train, whether it's an overnight train or it's a train where it's a day train and my seats are in coach, I spend the majority of by majority I'm saying probably about 95% of my time in the observation car. Really because I like to meet people, but even if I didn't, if I just wanted to read a book and take in the sights, I can do that too, all in the same car. By the way, we're back in LA here, and for anyone who's not unsure, I'd like to throw in some of these trivia questions and odd facts once in a while, but if you're unsure whether or not you're breaking the law in LA, it is illegal to lick a toad there, so don't do that. This package includes a day visit to Sausalito and Muir Woods. Muir Woods National Monument is an old-growth coastal redwood forest. So the trees here, their ages range from 400 to 800 years. Their height goes up to 250 feet. And Sausalito is a seaside town where you can enjoy outdoor dining and savor the San Francisco Bay view, because you really get a good view of San Francisco from Sausalito Bay. There are many outdoor fairs, art festivals, or music concerts, all celebrating summer in Sausalito. You can go, I mean, it is ideal. You can visit any time of year, but summer is very popular, and there's a lot of festivals and concerts and stuff going on in Sausalito during that time. On the right there, you will see the, kind of the size of some of these trees. So that's me stuffing one of my, one of my workmates there, Simon from our special projects team, inside a tree. There are a lot of trees there where you can actually climb inside the tree and take pictures. Seattle, which is obviously, as you can tell from this picture, a great place for seafood lovers. I myself am a seafood lover, so I thoroughly enjoy Seattle for many reasons, but that is definitely one of my, that really ranks high on my list. So let's recap the Western Rail experience. You explore Los Angeles with a hop-on, hop-off tour. You enjoy a day of sightseeing with a hop-on, hop-off tour of San Francisco. You make a day visit to Sausalito and Muir Woods in Northern California. You experience a bay cruise in San Francisco. You explore Seattle with a hop-on, hop-off trolley tour. But you also spend quite a bit of time on the train itself, and a lot of people that choose this it's really the train experience that is the highlight. With stopping in these different cities is actually usually secondary to the people that want to spend the time on the train itself. So right here you're going to see a few shots of some different rail accommodations, and we're going to start talking about that. I'm going to kind of describe the differences and some of the recommendations that I'm going to make here. So the first one is coach accommodations. So anytime you're not spending an overnight on the train, really coach accommodations is what I would recommend. And the reason why is, first of all, they're very, very comfortable. Think of an airplane seat as the smallest seat you could possibly get. And then think of a bus seat, like on a Greyhound, being about 50% wider. Well, then think of the Amtrak Amtrak seat being like a lazy boy chair. It reclines 45 degrees, much more comfortable than any other form of transportation. It's a great way to travel during the day. You do have access to restrooms, but not a shower. And it's just it's an economical, comfortable way to train. And like I was saying before, when I'm traveling during the day, I'm spending 95% of my time up in the observation car. So whether I'm in a sleeper or I'm in coach, during the day when I travel, I'm going to be in that observation car. It's only at night where I really want to be in a sleeper. So why don't we talk about those different accommodations? So Roomette is the most economical first-class accommodations. Now all your meals, are included when you're in a roomette, so your breakfast, lunch, dinner, depending on what time you're in, are included. Just like any other sleeping accommodation, they would be included. The seats transform into bunk beds. So this seat where they're both sitting becomes a bottom bunk, and then the top bunk folds down from the ceiling. Restrooms and showers are private but shared. So what that means is there's about 12 roomettes in a train car, and there are bathrooms and showers that are assigned to that train car. So it's only for the people in that train car. Now, when you go and you're taking a shower, no one's walking in and brushing their teeth or coming in there because it is private. You go in, you lock the door, and it's all yours. But it is a shared accommodation amongst the other roomettes. I'll tell you, I travel this way all the time, and it's never been a problem. I've never had to wait to use a restroom, and I've never had to wait to use a shower. Sleeper bedroom. So the difference with a bedroom versus a roomette, a bedroom is generally about twice the size. It includes the bathroom and shower, or the toilet and shower, in the room. So they are private and they are not shared. So it is a private bathroom shower or private toilet shower that is located in your room. I will tell you, it sounds very appealing. People look at it and they love to look at it. And a lot of times we'll work up the quotes for people and give them pricing. But generally, it's about 3 times the cost of a roomette. And most of the time when people do an overnight, once we really look at the pricing for them, really a roomette tends to be what the majority of people go for. Not that some don't go for the sleeper for the bedrooms or some of the other sleeping accommodations that we're going to talk about, but roomette is typically the most popular due to the pricing. Okay, so next, this page, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, that is an accessible bedroom. That actually does include a toilet in the room, and it's really designed for people that have mobile issues, or they're in a wheelchair, something along that case. The shower is right outside the door, which is easily accessible, but it is also shared with the other roomettes. Below that, you will see a suite. Now, a suite is basically just 2 bedrooms that we can book. For example, let's say you have a family of 4 and they want to be in the same bedroom. Well, this is what you're really doing is you're booking 2 bedrooms, and then there is a Murphy wall in between that we basically unlock on both sides so it can be opened, and you're really sharing that bedroom. It's really 2 bedrooms with the wall removed in between the 2. To the right, you're going to see a family bedroom. Now, the family bedroom accommodates up to 5 people, but I will tell you 3 of those people need to be small children. It's not recommended for children that are over 4 feet tall. And let me kind of give you an example. My 7-year-old daughter would fit fine in here. However, my 10-year-old son, or my 12-year-old son for that fact, but my 10-year-old son is he's over 5 feet, and he would not be comfortable in this type of sleeping. So when you think about it, and you're like, oh, I can fit up to 5 people. You have to be aware that 3 of those people have to be real small children. And here's another shot of the observation car. A great photographer must have taken these shots. I'm just joking. I'm actually the one who took these shots. In fact, I think you can see on the bottom picture, you can see Jackie enjoying the sights out there. This is actually my favorite car. Like I said, I'm in here during the day, whether I have sleeper accommodations or whether I'm sitting in coach. This is my daytime where I'm spending the majority of my time. And one other thing I wanted to mention here is dining on the train. So when we talked about the sleeper accommodations, you're given priority for seating in the dining car. Your meals are included. However, when you're in coach, your meals are not included, yet you still do have the ability to dine in the dining train car. What they'll do is they'll go around and they'll take everyone's from sleeping accommodations first, what time they want to come in to dinner or lunch or whatever it is, and then with the excess room, they will then offer it to people in coach to come and dine there. Now, you do pay, because it's not included in the price of your ticket and when you're sitting in coach, so you will pay. However, the pricing is very affordable It's not like when you go to a ball game, right? You go to a baseball game and you want to buy a hot dog and they charge you $9 for a hot dog because they know they got you. That is not how it works on Amtrak. Number one, the food is very good. I've had salmon, I've had salads, I've had steaks, I've had burgers. I've had everything across the board, and it's very comparable to what you would spend if you were to go out to a, let's say, like an Applebee's type of restaurant. Not a real high end, not a bottom barrel place, but it is very moderately priced. It's very fair value. And with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Jackie.
Well, thank you so much, John, for all that great information on some of the packages that we have taking you through California. So how do you book these great vacations? Well, there's a few different ways. You can call one of our vacation specialists. Our number's right there. They'll be able to help you out. They can also add that rail, taking you to the start of your package. They can also help you customize anything. Maybe it needs a few tweaks there. You can visit our website, amtrakvacations.com. You can also visit your local travel agent, and they'll be able to assist you with any of these bookings. Now, that's just a small sample of some of the packages and destinations that we have. Today, we just focused on California, but we have over 50 destinations through the U.S. and Canada. You can view them all online at amtrakvacations.com. Click on our Destinations tab there, and you will see all of those packages. And keep in mind, if you aren't seeing the package that you love, let us know. We can help you make the changes or even customize something to help you get that vacation that you love. We can help you getting the right number of days and helping you hit a special price point. We also have a travel protection option. It really is one of the best in the travel industry because it's canceled for any reason until noon the business day prior to your departure, and you get a full refund minus the cost of that trip protection. It also has some benefits to cover you while you're on your trip. It is optional, but I do highly recommend it. We have some everyday discounts on the Amtrak rail portion of your trip. There's discounts for veterans, active military, a great AAA discount, and your local AAA travel agent can also help you booking any of our packages here. We have one for seniors, so anyone 62 or older, and children 2 to 12 get 50% off the adult rail fare. But now I'm excited to tell you about these exclusive discounts that we have just for all of you for taking the time to join us today. But don't wait to book because these offers are only good until March 30th. The first offer that we have is for select independent rail journeys, which are some of our multi-city trips. We currently have an early booking discount running, but we're offering all of you an additional $100 off just for attending today. So you can save $300 per couple. And this applies to the California Dreaming and West Coast Spectacular trips that were featured today. The second offer that we have for you is on our Family Adventures packages. Now, if you book before March 30th, so you have 2 weeks, we'll give you $100 off for a family of 4. So an extra $25 off per person. This is good on our San Francisco and Yosemite family adventure, as well as our Southern California family adventure, which includes Disneyland and San Diego. And I'm so excited that we're able to get these exclusive discounts, offer them to all of you. I know that's a lot of information that we threw at you today with all the different packages, discounts, promo codes there. So I do have a handout with all that information that you can click right on the right-hand side of your screen and download that there. If you do have any questions at all, please feel free to type them into your questions box, and we'll spend a little time answering those questions for you. Before I go ahead, though, and answer those questions, I do want to announce our lucky $100 Amtrak Vacations gift certificate winner, and that winner is Frank Chicha. So congratulations, Frank. You now have $100 to put towards your next Amtrak Vacations vacation there. Now, don't forget to copy down our number to help you with your booking or answer any of those questions that maybe you come up with later. And remember, you can also book any of these packages with your local travel agent. Now, let's get to some of those questions that have been coming in. We have one from Jeffrey. When will Amtrak start allowing customers to book Amtrak Vacations online? So great question, Jeffrey. You can book some of our packages online right now at amtrakvacations.com. Some of you who have been on past webinars may have noticed that little screenshot there of our website was a little different. So we're excited that just a couple weeks ago we launched a brand new website there. So you certainly can book, any of those packages there online. If you are looking to customize anything, maybe you're adding some rail, doing the roomettes or bedrooms and upgrading them, that's what I highly recommend. Give us a call or reach out to your travel agent because we can assist you with that and really customizing that. So we have a question from Frank. Can Amtrak Guest Rewards points be applied to Amtrak tours? So great question. When it comes to Amtrak Guest Rewards, they can't be applied to the Amtrak Vacations tours, but you can use your Amtrak Guest Rewards to earn points on any of the rail portion of our packages here. So we have a question from Kelly. My husband and I are planning to take my son, and he'll be 23 months. So we're hoping to do a full day on the coastal Starlight, and so not an overnight, but I wondered if we should get a room or a coach would be okay.
So that's a good question, Kelly, and it's that's really a matter of preference for you and knowing when you want to put him down. My guess is he takes a number of naps. By the way, by being 23 months, he's under 2, which means he travels for free. But let's get back to that question. You will see a number of people in coach that will shut the shades and they will let these, remember the seats are pretty big, and they'll let their children sleep either on them or next to them on the seat and just recline the seat. So it's really a preference for you. You will see a lot of people travel with children during the day, though, on the train as well. So you will see people put their children down for naps and stuff on the train. But again, it's really you'd be the best, the best one to choose between what really works for you and your family.
So Margaret is asking, any discounts for people traveling solo, and what's the story with the single person supplement? So Margaret, if you're traveling solo, yes, any of those discounts I just mentioned that are per couple, we'll give you the per person rate. So you do get those discounts there still. We can also apply if you're adding on rail, any of those everyday Amtrak discounts, if you're AAA, a senior, anything like that, we can certainly add on for you. Patrice, let's see here. We have one from Anne. I noticed that when you go from LA to Seattle, you can go on the train all the way, but in reverse, you need a portion by bus. Why is this? And so the Coast Starlight runs from Los Angeles all the way up to Seattle. On occasion, Amtrak may be doing some track work there. I know recently they were doing a little bit around Seattle. In that case, sometimes they will have a bus because they still keep those routes going, those schedules on time, things like that. So occasionally there is a bus. So it may have been the specific day that you were looking at. That might have been the case there. Definitely give us a call, though, because there is a train that goes from Seattle all the way down to LA, all by train. So you don't have to do a bus there.
That's actually correct. There are multiple routes. So sometimes people want to leave at a specific time, and that route will include a bus. Yet if you're flexible with the times you can leave, you can get a train that goes straight through without taking the bus.
So Thelma is asking, are there meals on the train for special dietary needs like gluten-free, etc.? So Thelma, yes, there certainly are. So if you are, gluten-free, vegetarian, anything like that, definitely when you're booking, let us or let your travel agent know so we can make sure to make the note and let the staff on board. You'll also notice for the menus there's a wide variety. So if anyone is, gluten-free, dairy-free, anything like that, you will see there are options too for that.
And that brings up a good point. Jackie was just saying, you can let us know or let your travel agent know. And people come to ask that question periodically is, well, should I just book through you? Would it be cheaper? And the answer is no. Whatever price that you would pay for us, you would pay the same with your travel agent. The difference is usually when you have a travel agent is you have someone locally who you can walk in and sit down with. When you're working with us, it's strictly really over the phone. But there is absolutely no advantage to booking through us directly versus a travel agent. So if you have a local travel agent who you use, I would encourage you to use your local travel agent. But again, we're always here to answer the phone if you call us directly. But there is no advantage to booking with us directly over booking with a travel agent.
So we have a question from Kevin. Is the AAA discount on the train portion only, like the senior discount, or the entire package? So Kevin, yes, the AAA discount, just like that senior discount, we can apply it towards the rail portion of the trip. For the entire package, you'll get some of the discounts that I mentioned, like one for select independent rail journeys of $300 off or $100 off for a family of 4 on the packages there. But yes, when it comes to that AAA discount, you can get that towards the rail portion. So it looks like that's all we have for questions today. So I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time, for joining us. If you do think of anything later, certainly reach out to us or call your travel agent. We are standing by, ready to help you book your next vacation.
Thanks, guys.